Captain Alina Vasquez walked through the long hallway of the Galactic Council building. Her boots made soft sounds on the smooth metal floor. The walls were made of a strange blue material that seemed to glow from inside. She had been here many times before, but it still amazed her every time. Today was special. Today was the day Earth would give its yearly report to the Council. Alina carried a small device in her hand that held all the information about how well humans were doing. The numbers were good. It's very good. 300 years ago, things were different. Much different. Earth was a mess back then. Humans fought each other all the time. Wars happened everywhere. Millions of people died for reasons that seem stupid now. The planet was getting sick from all the pollution. Many animals were dying. It looked like humans might destroy themselves completely. Then they came, the ethereals. Alina remembered the stories her grandmother told her. How the sky suddenly filled with lights one day. How voices spoke inside everyone's head at the same time, in every language on Earth. The voices were kind and warm. They said they wanted to help. "We are the ethereal collective," they had said. "We have watched your world with great sadness. You are hurting yourselves and your beautiful planet. We want to help you become better. We want to help you find peace." And they did help. The war stopped almost overnight. Countries that had been enemies for hundreds of years suddenly started working together. New technology appeared that could clean the air and water. Diseases that had killed millions of people just disappeared. Humans learned how to travel to other planets and build cities among the stars. Alina pushed open the big doors to the council chamber. The room was huge, bigger than any building on Earth. Thousands of different alien species sat in rows that went up and up until they disappeared in the shadows above. Some looked almost like humans. Others were so strange that Alina could not even guess how they moved, or ate, or talked. All of them were here because of the ethereals. All of them had been saved just like humans were. The ethereals themselves sat at the front of the room. They did not have bodies like everyone else. They looked like tall columns of white light that moved and shifted like fog.
Oh.
Sometimes Alina could almost see shapes inside the light that might have been faces or hands. But it was hard to tell. Elder Zeftos was the one who usually spoke for the ethereals. His voice did not come from his mouth because he did not have one. Instead, it seemed to come from everywhere at once. It was always warm and kind, like a father talking to his children. "Captain Vasquez," the elder said, "please come forward and share your report." Alina walked to the center of the room. A platform rose from the floor to lift her up so everyone could see her. She was not nervous. She had done this many times before. But today something felt different. She could not say what it was exactly. Maybe it was the way the light around the ethereals seemed a little less bright than usual. Maybe it was how quiet the other species were. "Honored Elder," Alina began, "I bring good news from Earth and all human colonies. Our population has grown to 8 billion people. Crime is at the lowest level in our history. We have built 12 new cities on other planets this year. Our scientists have made important discoveries in medicine and energy production. We are grateful for your continued guidance." She pressed a button on her device. Images appeared in the air above her head, showing busy human cities, happy families, and ships flying between the stars. Everything looked perfect. And it was perfect. "Mostly, our agricultural output has increased by 15%, Alina continued. "No human goes hungry anywhere in our territory. We have helped the Zentari rebuild their homeworld after the asteroid damage. We sent medical supplies to the Krell colonies when they had their plague outbreak. Continue to follow the path of peace and cooperation that you have shown us." The elder's light pulsed slowly. "This is very good, Captain. Humanity has grown much since we first found you. We're like angry children fighting over toys. You are wise and helpful members of our galactic family." Alina smiled and bowed her head. "We owe everything to your wisdom, Elder. Without your help, we would have destroyed ourselves long ago." "Yes," the elder said, and his voice seemed quieter now. "You would have, as would many others. The galaxy was a dark and violent place before. We brought order to it." Something in the way he said it made Alina look up. The other ethereals had gathered closer together. Their lights were pulsing in a pattern she had never seen before. The alien species in the room were very quiet now, too quiet. "Elder," said a voice from the crowd. It was Ambassador Vex from the Azari Republic. "You speak as if our guidance period is ending. Are there changes coming?" Elder Zeftos was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke again, his voice had changed. It was still warm, but there was something else in it now. Something that made Elena's skin feel cold. "The time of guidance draws to a close," the elder said. "For 300 of your years, we have watched over you. We have helped you grow. We have taught you to live in peace. We have given you technology and wisdom. You have all become exactly what we hoped you would become." The room was completely silent now. Elena felt her heart beating faster. "The galaxy has achieved the stability we sought," the elder continued. "Our children are ready for the next phase. I have been prepared." "Well, prepared for what?" Elena asked before she could stop herself. The elder's light grew brighter for a moment, then dimmed again. "All will be revealed in time, young captain. For now, return to your worlds. Enjoy the peace we have given you. Rest well." Elena wanted to ask more questions, but something in the elder's voice told her not to. The meeting was over. The other species began to file out of the chamber, talking quietly among themselves. Elena could hear worry in their voices even when she could not understand their words as she walked back through the hallway. Elena could not shake the feeling that something important had just changed. The elder's words kept running through her mind. "You've been prepared well. Prepared for what? And why did he sound so sad when he said it? The ship ride back to Earth took 3 days." Elena spent most of that time staring out the window at the stars. She had always found space beautiful and peaceful. But now, for the first time in her life, the darkness between the stars seemed threatening. Something was coming. She could feel it in her bones. Whatever it was, the ethereals had been planning it for a very long time. Dr. Marcus Chen bent over his microscope in the underground laboratory. His eyes were red from hours of work, but he could not stop looking. What he saw in the sample changed everything he thought he knew about the world. The laboratory was hidden deep below the Earth Sciences building in New Geneva. Only a few people knew it existed. Marcus had been working here for 2 months. Ever since he found something strange in an old ethereal artifact. The artifact looked like a simple crystal, the kind the ethereals sometimes left behind after their visits to Earth. Most people thought these crystals were just pretty decorations, but Marcus was curious. He had always been curious about everything, especially things that did not make sense. When he put the crystal under his most powerful scanner, he found something impossible. Inside the crystal were tiny machines, smaller than anything humans could build. The machines were not just sitting there doing nothing. They were active. They were recording things. Everything. They recorded everything. Marcus wiped his eyes and looked at his computer screen. The data was all there, but it was hard to believe. The machines in the crystal had been recording human behavior for over 200 years. Not just big things like wars or peace treaties, small things too. How people talked, how they thought, what made them angry or happy or scared. But that was not the worst part. Marcus had spent weeks learning how to read the alien data files. What he found made his hands shake. The machines were not just recording, they were also sending out signals, tiny signals that went right into human brains. The signals changed how people thought. They made humans more calm, more willing to follow orders, more trusting of authority. Ethereals had been changing human minds for 3 centuries, and nobody knew it. Marcus heard footsteps in the hallway above. He quickly saved his work and hid the crystal. His assistant Sarah came down the stairs carrying 2 cups of coffee. "You look terrible," Sarah said, handing him a cup. "When did you last sleep?" "I cannot sleep," Marcus said. "Sarah, I need to show you something. First, I need you to promise me something. Promise me you will not think I am crazy." Sarah sat down and looked at him carefully. She had worked with Marcus for 5 years. He was the smartest person she knew, and he was never dramatic about anything. If he was worried, there was a good reason. "I promise," she said. Marcus showed her everything: the crystal, the tiny machines, the data files, the signals going into human brains. Sarah's face got more and more pale as she understood what it all meant. "This is impossible," she whispered. "The ethereals saved us. They ended the wars. They gave us peace." "Did they?" Marcus asked. "Or did they just make us forget how to fight?" Stared at the computer screen. The evidence was right there, but her mind did not want to accept it. Why would they do this? What do they want? Marcus pulled up another file. This one was different. It was much older, from before the ethereals came to Earth. The data was damaged and hard to read, but Marcus had been working on it for days. "This came from a different planet," he said. "A world called Kethmara. The ethereals went there about 1,000 years ago. They did the same thing. They ended the wars. They brought peace. They changed the people's minds." "Where are the Kethmara now?" Sarah asked. Marcus was quiet for a long moment. "Gone. The planet is empty. No life at all. According to this data, they all died on the same day." Sarah dropped her coffee cup. It hit the floor and broke, but she did not notice. "You think the ethereals killed them?" "I think the ethereals are not what they pretend to be," Marcus said. "I think they are farmers, and we are their crops." Before Sarah could answer, Marcus's computer made a beeping sound. A new message had arrived. It was from Captain Alina Vasquez. Marcus knew Alina from university. They had been friends before she joined the military. The message was short and strange. "Marcus, I need to see you. Something is wrong. Do not tell anyone. Meet me at the old place tonight." The old place was a bar near the university where they used to study together. Marcus had not been there in years. He wondered why Alina wanted to meet there, and why she sounded so worried. That night, Marcus walked through the quiet streets to the bar. It was raining, and the city lights made everything look fuzzy and strange. He felt like someone was watching him, but every time he looked around, he saw nothing. The bar was almost empty. Alina sat in a corner booth wearing normal clothes instead of her military uniform. She looked tired and scared. When she saw Marcus, she waved him over quickly. "Thank you for coming," she said. "I did not know who else to call." Marcus sat down across from her. "What is wrong?" Your message sounded urgent. Alina looked around the bar to make sure no one was listening. "Something happened at the council meeting yesterday. The ethereals said something strange. They said we have been prepared for the next phase. They said our guidance period is ending." Marcus felt his heart beat faster. "What do you think that means?" "I do not know," Alina said. "But I have been having dreams, strange dreams. And I know this sounds crazy, but I think other humans are having them too." Alina told him about the dreams. In them, she saw humans standing in long lines, walking toward bright lights. They all looked happy and peaceful, but something was wrong with their eyes. They looked empty, like no one was home inside their heads. In the dreams, the humans walked into the lights and disappeared. All of them, every single human in the galaxy. "It is just a dream," Alina said. "But it feels so real." And the timing, right after what the elder said. ... Marcus reached across the table and took her hand. "Alina, I need to tell you something. Something about the ethereals. Something terrible." He told her everything. The crystal, the machines, the mind control, the empty planet. Alina listened without saying a word, but her face got paler and paler. When he finished, they sat in silence for a long time. Finally, Alina spoke. "How many people know about this?" she asked. "Just me and Sarah," Marcus said. "And now you." "Need to tell someone? The government? The military? Someone who can do something about it?" Marcus shook his head. "Who would believe us? The ethereals are like gods to most people. And if the mind control is real, then the people in charge might not be able to think clearly enough to see the truth." Alina thought about this.
Marcus
Was right. The ethereals had been controlling human minds for centuries. The people who made important decisions might be the most controlled of all. "Then what do we do?" she asked. Marcus was quiet for a moment, then he smiled, but it was not a happy smile. "We do what humans have always done when things look impossible. Figure out a way to fight back against beings of pure energy who can control minds," Alina asked. "How? I do not know yet," Marcus said. but I am going to find out. The crystal is just one piece. There are other ethereal artifacts scattered all over Earth. If I can study them, maybe I can learn how their technology works. Maybe I can find a way to stop it. Alina nodded slowly. What do you need me to do? Help me find more artifacts. Use your military connections. And Alina, be careful who you trust. If the mind control is real, then anyone could be affected. Anyone except ... double quotes. Except what? In my research, I found something interesting. The mind control signals do not work on everyone. Some humans seem to be resistant. Maybe 1 in 10,000. These people have strange dreams like yours. They ask questions when everyone else just accepts things. Lena felt a chill run down her spine. You think I am one of these resistant people? I think we both are, Marcus said. I think we need to find the others. Because if something big is coming, if the ethereals really are planning something terrible, then the resistant humans might be the only ones who can stop it. They left the bar separately, walking different directions through the rainy streets. Alina felt like the whole world had changed in one night. Everything she believed about peace and safety and the kindness of the ethereals was a lie. But as scared as she was, she also felt something else. For the first time in her life, she felt truly awake. 3 weeks after the meeting in the bar, Alina stood in a hidden room beneath an old mining station on Mars. Around her, 23 other humans sat quietly in a circle. All of them looked tired and scared. All of them had been having the same strange dreams. Marcus had been right. There were other resistant humans scattered across the galaxy. Finding them had been dangerous work. Alina used her military access codes to search through medical records looking for people who reported unusual dreams or strange feelings about the ethereals. Most of the time, these reports were marked as mental health problems and ignored. But Alina knew better now. She knew these people were the only ones who could see the truth. Thank you all for coming, Alina said. I know this was not easy. I know many of you risked your jobs and your safety to be here. A woman named Dr. Lisa Park raised her hand. She was a biologist from the Europa colonies. Captain, are you certain about this? What you told us in your messages about the mind control and the harvest, it sounds impossible. I thought so too, Alina said. But look around this room. Oh. Many of us are there? 24 people out of 8 billion humans? Why are we the only ones who question what the ethereals are doing? Why are we the only ones who have these dreams? Marcus stepped forward from where he had been working at a computer. I've been studying the ethereal technology for a month now. I found 12 more artifacts. All of them contain the same mind control devices. But there is something else. He pressed a button, and images appeared on the wall. They showed brain scans from all the people in the room. Every person here has the same genetic mutation, Marcus said. A small change in the part of the brain that processes certain types of energy. The ethereal signals cannot affect us the same way they affect other humans. A man named Colonel James Rodriguez spoke up. He was Elena's friend from the military academy. So we are immune to their control? That is good news, right? Not immune, Marcus said. Just resistant, and not completely resistant. If the ethereals focus their power on us directly, they can still control us or kill us, but their general broadcasts do not work on us. Alina looked around the room at the worried faces. The question is, what do we do now? Marcus has proof that the ethereals are not our friends. We know they plan to harvest all life in the galaxy. But how do we fight beings of pure energy? We cannot, said Dr. Park. It is impossible. They are too powerful. Nothing is impossible, Alina said. Humans have faced impossible odds before. We always find a way. Marcus smiled. Actually, Alina is right. I think I found a way, but it is dangerous. It's very dangerous. He brought up new images on the wall. These showed complex diagrams and equations that hurt to look at. The ethereals exist as pure energy, Marcus explained. They can manipulate matter and energy at the quantum level, but that is also their weakness. They've forgotten how to exist in physical form. What does that mean? Colonel Rodriguez asked. It means we can force them back into physical bodies, Marcus said. If we can do that, they become vulnerable to regular weapons. But the process requires enormous amounts of energy. Someone has to link their consciousness directly to the quantum field to make it work. Alina felt a cold chill. What happens to the person who does that? Marcus was quiet for a moment. They die. The human brain cannot handle that much quantum energy. But if enough people volunteer, if we can coordinate the process across the entire galaxy, we can pull every ethereal down into physical form at the same time. The room was silent. Alina looked at the faces around her. Scientists, soldiers, doctors, engineers. All of them had families and friends and lives they wanted to protect. How long do we have? Dr. Park asked. 8. Not long, Marcus said. The dreams are getting stronger. Other resistant humans are reporting that they can feel something building. I think the harvest will begin soon. Alina stood up. Then we need to move fast. We need to find more resistant humans. We need to build the devices Marcus described. And we need to get ready for war. War? Colonel Rodriguez asked. Against the ethereals? Not just the ethereals, Alina said. Think about it. We expose the truth. When we try to wake people up, what do you think will happen? Most humans will not believe us. They have been controlled for so long that they cannot imagine the ethereals being evil. They will think we are the enemy. Dr. Park nodded slowly. The ethereals will use that. It will turn the rest of humanity against us. Exactly, Alina said. We will be fighting a war on 2 fronts. Against the ethereals and against our own species. Over the next week, the group split up and returned to their homes. Each person had a job to do. Some would search for more resistant humans. Others would gather supplies and weapons. Marcus would work on building the quantum field devices. Alina returned to Earth, but everything felt different now. When she walked through the busy streets of Geneva, she saw the truth that had been hidden from her all her life. People moved like they were sleepwalking. They smiled and laughed, but their eyes were empty. They were happy, but it was not real happiness. It was artificial peace created by alien machines. She tried to imagine what humans had been like before. The ethereals came. Had they been more angry? More violent? Maybe. But they had also been more alive. More real. Alina went to her apartment and packed a bag. She would not be coming back. Her military career was over. Her old life was over. She had a new job. The most important job anyone had ever had. She was going to save the human race. 2 days later, Lena was on a ship heading to the outer colonies when the first attack happened. She was in her cabin when alarms started blaring throughout the deep ship. She ran to the bridge and found the crew staring at the main screen in horror. A human colony on Kepler 44 to be had simply vanished. One moment, satellite images showed a bustling city with 2 million people. The next moment, there was nothing but empty buildings and silent streets. The captain of the ship, a man named Thompson, turned to Alina with confusion in his eyes. Captain, what could have done this? There was no explosion, no signs of attack. The people are just gone. Lena felt her heart sink. It was starting. The harvest had begun. Her communicator buzzed with an encrypted message from Marcus. They know about us. Ethereal ships are heading to Earth. The timeline has moved up. You have maybe hours before they come for the resistant humans. Alina looked at the empty colony on the screen. 2 million people gone in an instant. Their life energy taken to feed the ethereals. Ascension to a higher dimension. She thought about her grandmother's stories of the old days, when humans fought each other over land and resources and ideas. Those fights seemed small now. Humans had never faced an enemy like this before, an enemy that could erase entire worlds with a thought. But humans had also never been this desperate before. And desperate humans were the most dangerous creatures in the galaxy. Alina opened a communication. Channel 2, all the resistant humans they had found. There were more now. Maybe 300 across all the colonies? Not many against beings of unlimited power, but it would have to be enough.
Wow.
This is Captain Vasquez, she said. The harvest has begun. Kepler 4 for 2B is gone. All Resistance members need to reach your assigned positions immediately. Begin construction of the quantum field. Devices, this is not a drill. She paused and looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there, the ethereals were moving through space, collecting the life force of entire worlds. Soon they would have enough energy to become gods, unless 24 humans with a crazy plan could stop them. "We are going to war," Alina said, "and we are going to win. Because we are human. Humans do not give up." The ship changed course, heading toward the secret base where Marcus was waiting. Behind them, more colonies went dark. The harvest was accelerating. Time was running out. Alina stood in the command center deep inside the asteroid base. Around her, screens showed the nightmare happening across the galaxy. 17 human colonies were already gone. Empty worlds where millions of people used to live and work and dream. The ethereals were not hiding anymore. Their massive ships hung in the sky above Earth like dark stars. The ships were strange geometric shapes that hurt to look at directly. They bent space around them, making the air shimmer and twist. Captain Marcus called from his workstation. "The quantum field devices are ready. We have teams at 47. Locations across the galaxy, but we still need more volunteers." Alina looked at the list of names on her screen. Each name was a person who would die when they activated the devices. Good people who had families and dreams and futures they would never see. "How many do we need?" she asked. "At least 1,000, Marcus said. "Maybe more. The ethereals are stronger than I thought. They have been storing energy for centuries, preparing for this moment." Elena's communicator buzzed. It was Colonel Rodriguez. "From the lunar base, Alina, we have a problem. The ethereals are not just taking life energy. They're broadcasting something to the controlled humans, making them see us as the enemy." Alina switched to the main communication channel. Reports came in from resistance cells across the galaxy. Human military forces were turning against the resistance fighters. People who had been friends and family were now hunting them down. "They think we are terrorists," Dr. Park reported from Europa. "They believe we caused the colonies to disappear. The ethereals are showing them false images, making them think. We have some kind of weapon." Alina closed her eyes. The ethereals were smart. They knew that humans would fight harder against other humans than they would against their supposed gods. Turn the resistance into the enemy, and the controlled humans would do the ethereals' work for them. Marcus, Alina said. "How long until we can activate the devices?" 6 hours, Marcus replied. "But Alina, I need to tell you something else. The process will not just pull the ethereals into physical form. It will also break the mind control signals across the entire galaxy. Every human will suddenly remember who they really are, what they have lost." Alina thought about this. Billion humans suddenly waking up from a 300-year dream, suddenly remembering that they used to be different people. Angrier people. "What will happen to them?" she asked. "I do not know," Marcus said. "The shock might drive some of them insane. Others might die from the mental trauma. But the ones who survive will be truly human again, for the first time in centuries." Alina made her decision. "Do it. Send out the call for volunteers. Cannot wait any longer." The next few hours were the longest of Elena's life. Reports came in as resistance fighters across the galaxy prepared for what might be their last mission. Many of them recorded messages for their families, even though those families might never understand why they had to die. Dr. Park volunteered. Even though she had 3 children on Europa, someone has to do it, she said. "I would rather die fighting than live as a slave." Colonel Rodriguez volunteered too. "I have been a soldier all my life," he said. "It's what soldiers do. We protect people, even when the people do not know they need protecting." Hundreds of others made the same choice. Scientists, farmers, teachers, mechanics, all of them knowing they would die, but believing that their deaths would save everyone. Alina wanted to volunteer too, but Marcus stopped her. "We need you alive," he said. "When this is over, when the ethereals are physical again, someone will have to lead the war against them. The other humans will be confused and scared. They will need a leader who understands what happened." Alina nodded, but she felt guilty watching others prepare to sacrifice themselves while she stayed safe. As the countdown reached its final hour, the ethereals made their move. Their ships descended toward Earth's surface. Beams of pure energy shot down from the ships, touching cities around the world. People began walking toward the beams like they were hypnotized. Alina watched in horror as millions of humans lined up to be harvested. They looked happy, peaceful. They thought they were going to paradise. "Marcus, we have to start now," Elena said. "We cannot wait any longer." Marcus checked his readings. "All teams report ready. The quantum field generators are charged." "Elena, once we start this, there is no going back." "Are you sure?" Elena looked at the screens showing the harvest beams. She thought about her grandmother's stories of the old Earth, a world where humans were free to make their own choices. "Even if they were bad choices, I am sure," she said. "Begin the countdown." Marcus's voice echoed through the communication. "System 2 resistance fighters across the galaxy," says Dr. Chen. "Project Prometheus begins in 60 seconds. All volunteers prepare for quantum field link. Remember, you are saving not just humanity, but every species in the galaxy. You are heroes." Alina watched the countdown timer. 50 seconds. 40. 30. On the screens, she could see ethereal ships hovering over a dozen worlds. The harvest was accelerating. Soon there would not be enough living beings left to provide the energy needed for ascension. 20 seconds. 10. "Quantum field link established," Marcus announced. "Volunteers, you may begin." Across the galaxy, 1,000 human minds linked themselves to the quantum field that held reality together. Lena could feel it through the base's instruments. A wave of human consciousness spreading faster than light, reaching for the energy. Beings that had enslaved them for centuries, the ethereals noticed immediately. Their ships stopped moving, or harvest beams flickered and died. For the first time in millions of years, the ethereals felt something they had forgotten. Fear. Alina watched the readings on Marcus's instruments. The quantum field was destabilizing around every ethereal in the galaxy. Their energy forms were being compressed, forced into physical matter against their will. "It is working," Marcus shouted. "They are becoming solid." "But Alina, the volunteers are dying faster than I calculated. We might not have enough people to complete the process." Alina looked at the list of volunteers. Half of them were already gone, their minds burned out by the quantum energy. The others were fighting to hold on long enough to finish the job. On Earth, something incredible happened. The first ethereal ship began to fall. Its geometric shape twisted and warped as the being inside was forced into a physical body. The ship crashed into the Pacific Ocean with a splash that could be seen from space. But it was not enough. There were thousands of ethereals across the galaxy, and only 500 volunteers left alive. Alina made the hardest decision of her life. She walked to Marcus's workstation and placed her hand on the quantum field interface. "Alina, no," Marcus said. "I told you, we need you alive. We need to win first," Alina replied. "If we lose here, it does not matter who survives." Activated the interface and felt her mind expand beyond her body. She could see the entire galaxy spread out before her like a map. She could feel every ethereal, every human, every living thing connected by threads of energy. The ethereals were fighting back now. They sent waves of mental force at the volunteers, trying to break their concentration. Many of the remaining humans screamed and died as alien thoughts tore through their minds. But Alina held on. She reached out through the quantum field and grabbed every ethereal she could find. She pulled them down into physical form with all the strength her human mind could manage. The galaxy exploded with light as thousands of energy beings were forced into matter. Their screams echoed across dimensions as they experienced physical sensation for the first time in eons. Pain, cold, fear, hunger, all the things that living creatures knew. But gods had forgotten. Alina felt her mind beginning to break apart from the strain. But she held on long enough to send one last message to the resistance fighters across the galaxy. The ethereals are physical now. They can be killed. Kill them all. Then Elena's consciousness scattered into the quantum field, and she knew nothing more. But across the galaxy, her message was heard. Human ships emerged from hiding. Weapons that had been built in secret were fired at the no-vulnerable ethereals. The hunt began. The gods were mortal now, and humans had become very good at killing mortal things. 6 months after the last ethereal died, Alina Vasquez stood before the rebuilt Galactic Council. She wore the uniform of the Terran Liberation Fleet, a new organization that had grown from the ashes of the old human military. Alina had survived. Somehow her consciousness had found its way back from the quantum field to her broken body. The doctors said it was impossible. Alina knew better. Humans were very good at doing impossible things when they had to. The council chamber looked different. Now, many of the seats were empty. Some species were still recovering from the shock of learning that their entire civilization had been built on lies. Others had simply disappeared, unable to handle the truth about what they had become. The ones who remained looked at Alina with a mixture of fear and gratitude. They knew she had saved them. They also knew what humanity had done to accomplish that salvation. Alina walked to the center of the chamber. The platform that lifted her up was the same one she had used 6 months ago when she delivered Earth's yearly tribute report. But everything else had changed. "Members of the Council," Alina began, "I stand before you today to report on the status of the galaxy following the ethereal war. The immediate threat is over. Every ethereal in the galaxy has been found and eliminated." Word eliminated hung in the air like smoke. Alina did not say killed or destroyed. Those words were too soft for what humanity had done. They had eliminated the ethereals like a disease, hunting them down one by one across thousands of worlds. Ambassador Vex from the Azari Republic raised a shaky hand. "Captain Vasquez, or should I say Admiral Vasquez, the reports we have received are difficult to believe. Your species killed beings that were once considered gods? How is such a thing possible?" Alina's expression did not change. "We made them. Mortal things can be killed. We are very good at killing things when we need to." The simple way she said it made several council members look uncomfortable. Alina continued her report. "The mind control devices have been deactivated across all known worlds. The genetic modifications, the ethereals, made to your species, can be reversed with the medical technology we captured from their ships. Any species that wants to return to their natural state can do so." "And if we do not want to?" asked Delegate Kess from the Thermal Collective. "Some of us prefer the peace the ethereals gave us. The modifications made us happier, less violent." Lena nodded. "That is your choice. Humanity will not force you to change. We will not become your new masters. But you should understand what you are choosing. You are choosing to remain slaves, even if your chains are invisible." The chamber was quiet for a long moment. Then Ambassador Vex spoke again. "Admiral, there are reports that human forces have taken control of ethereal technology. Weapons, ships, mind control devices. What does humanity plan to do with these things?" Alina had been expecting this question. It was the question every species in the galaxy was asking. Humanity had proven they could kill gods. What would they do with that power? "The weapons will be kept by human forces," Alina said. "We will use them to protect the galaxy from any future threats. The mind control technology has been destroyed. Every piece of it. We will not repeat the ethereal's mistakes." "But who will protect the galaxy from humanity?" Vex asked. "You have shown that your species is capable of terrible things when threatened. How do we know you will not turn those weapons on us?" Alina looked around the chamber at the worried faces of a dozen species. She understood their fear. Humanity had become something frightening during the war. They had hunted down fleeing ethereals with cold efficiency. They had shown no mercy, no hesitation. They had become killers on a galactic scale. "You do not." "No," Alina said. "You will have to trust us, just like we trusted the ethereals for 300 years. The difference is that we are telling you the truth. We are dangerous. We are capable of terrible things. But we only do those terrible things when we have to." She paused and looked directly at Ambassador Vex. The ethereals pretended to be kind and gentle while they prepared to murder every living thing in the galaxy. We do not pretend to be something we are not. We are humans. We can be compassionate and generous and helpful. We can also be ruthless and violent and unforgiving. Which side you see depends on how you treat us and the people we care about. Oh, Dr. Park, who had somehow survived the quantum field link, stood up from the human delegation. She had aged 10 years and 6 months, but her voice was steady. The galaxy is free now, she said. It's truly free for the first time in thousands of years. You can make your own choices. Build your own societies. Fight your own wars if you want to. Humanity will not stop you. But we will also not let anyone enslave entire species the way the ethereals did. That is our promise and our threat. After the council meeting, Alina walked through the corridors of the station. She passed memorials to the humans who had died in the quantum field links, heroes who had given their lives so that billions of others could be free. She stopped at a memorial wall that listed all the human casualties of the war. Over 2,000 names. Marcus Chen was at the top of the list. He had died 3 days after the Prometheus activation, his brain burned out by the quantum energies he had channeled. Alina touched his name on the wall. We did it, Marcus. Saved them all. But I do not think any of us are the same people. We were before. The war had changed humanity. Just the ones who fought in it, but all of them. When the mind control signals stopped, when humans remembered who they used to be, something awakened in them, something that had been sleeping. For 3 centuries, they remembered how to be angry, how to fight, how to hate their enemies and love their friends with equal passion. They remembered what it meant to be truly alive, instead of just peaceful. Alina looked out a window at the stars. Somewhere out there, human ships patrolled the galaxy. They carried weapons that could destroy planets and technology that could control minds. They were the most powerful military force the galaxy had ever seen. But they were still human. They still made mistakes. They still felt fear and doubt and loneliness. They were not gods, and they never wanted to be gods. Alina thought about the future. There would be new threats someday, other species that wanted to conquer or control, or destroy. When that happened, they would learn what the ethereals had learned. Humans could be kind and helpful and generous. They would share their technology and knowledge freely. They would protect the weak and defend the innocent. But if you threatened them, or the people they cared about, they would do unthinkable things to stop you. They would become monsters if they had to. They would kill gods if necessary. The galaxy was safe now. Whether it was better was a question only history could answer. But it was free, and that was what mattered. Alina touched the memorial wall one more time and walked away. She had work to do. There were ships to build and crews to train and threats to watch for. The universe was a dangerous place, and someone had to keep the peace. Humanity had learned a hard lesson from the ethereals. Never trust anyone completely. Never give up your ability to fight back. And never ever let anyone tell you that slavery is better than freedom, even if they call it peace. The galaxy belonged to everyone now, but if anyone tried to take it away, they would have to go through 8 billion humans first. And humans, as the ethereals had discovered, were very hard to kill.